Hello and welcome to another live stream of Cypher on Minecraft. You all know me as a DJ, but Minecraft is my hobby. And today I'm going to be showing you some cool tricks and builds from Minecraft. I'll be going on about various different ways you can take your Minecraft knowledge to the next level. So let's crack on it. Before we start, as usual, let me just share this stream with a couple of friends so that more people can be joining. Give me just 1 second, please. This shouldn't take long. So, give me just 1 second. That seems to be some neighbors' dogs that are just barking around. So that should be it. Okay, we are back on Minecraft. So let's get started. Give me just another second, because I don't see my stream online yet. Oh, weird. I'm supposed to be streaming on Minecraft, right? Sorry, YouTube. Well, I'm supposed to, but oh, right. So, you know, as usual, I keep a check on the stream on my computer, and it's not fully working right now, so that's why I cannot see it. But anyways, let's just get started on today's stream. So let's just head in. I already have a few of these builds already prepared so that I can teach you how to build various different fun things in here. So let's get started. The first thing that I'm going to be teaching you or showing you how to build is quicksand. This is one of the builds that looks awesome. It's really fun, really easy to build, but the only downside is that it does not last for very long. So, I mean, as soon as you build it, you have to make use of it because it's not going to be lasting long. But let's just take a quick peek at it. I'm going to be showing you first what it looks like before I teach you how to build it. So let me just get rid of this unnecessary blocks. Alright, so this is what it pretty much will be looking like. So I'm just dropping some sand at the moment, and it's starting to sink, and if I decide to try and walk on the sand, I'm gonna be stuck in it, and it's gonna feel pretty much like a quicksand. So this is really cool, really amazing. The only downside to it, like I was saying, is that it doesn't last long, and you're gonna be noticing in a few moments that the blocks are gonna be cracking up. There we go, and destroying themselves, leaving it completely open, bare, just to say. But either way, I'm gonna be teaching you how to build it. So let's get started. Alright, so for this build, let me just, here we go. Alright, for this build we're going to be needing sand, of course. We're going to be needing water, as many blocks of water, does to say, but I mean as many water as you need for the size of the quicksand that you're going to be building. You're going to be needing soul sand, cobweb, and whichever block you're going to be using as scaffolding and also as a barrier if you're going to be building it with a certain height like I did in here. Okay, so give me just 1 tiny second. Okay, so let's begin. I'm going to be doing the classic 3x3x3 build in here. So first things first, you're gonna be needing at least 2 blocks deep for starters. So right in here, we're gonna be digging our 3 times 3 deep block. So this is how deep it's gonna be going. And as always, if you're gonna be using soul sand to do the water trick effect, where it shoots you up back, then we're gonna be replacing the entire floor with soul sand. It's really creepy. If you have like actually paid attention to, if you have actually paid attention to soul sand, you've noticed that every time you break a block or place it, you can hear the souls of the people that, or the people or the entities that are supposed to be trapped inside the soul. So that's another quick Minecraft fact. Take just a small listen before we keep going. So let's just see. Listen. That's actually really creepy. Okay, so first things first, we have our floor filled with soul sand to start this. So let's just cover the entire place with water blocks. As we all know, we need 1 bucket of water per soul sand. Oh, hey Junior, I'm happy to see you. Per soul sand to make the flowing water stream working. So there's that. The next thing that we need is cobweb. We're gonna be covering the entire floor with cobweb. So this is pretty much what gives us the soul sand effects. I'm gonna just drop myself right now and I get trapped inside it. So this is the soul sand effect that we are gonna be getting. The only thing that lasts is making it look like a soul sand. So what you need is any sort of block. I mean, if you want to make a barrier like I did in here, then choose the block that you want this to have so it looks pretty. But if you want to leave it like this very open and all you want is to cover it, use any block as scaffolding. And what we're going to be doing is building 2 blocks above the cobweb so that we can drop our so that we can drop our sand and it falls right on top of the cobweb. So I'm gonna be building this. You can just delete it later, but like I said and like I showed you, it doesn't last for long, so I wouldn't, but that's up to you. So right now this would cover the entire place except for the middle block, so now this would cover the middle block. So now what we have to do is simply drop our sand so that it falls right on top of the cobweb. Oh, hey, potato. And like you see, it starts to fall in a weird way on top of the cobweb. So you can already drop yourself in it or just wait for it to like fully look like it's just there, and then you start to have this like quicksand effect. You're trapped in it, it moves weirdly, and it looks really cool, but sadly it's not gonna last long, because the moment the sand block touches the water, it gets pulled up, and let me just show you what I mean, and it gets it cannot like withstand the water stream. So as you see right here, it completely dried up, but in here it gets mixed between the cobweb and the water. So let's just take a look at how this thing works. It's just going down, and the moment it touches the water, it starts to like try to fix itself, but it's also like being stuck in the cobweb, and between the two things the block like drops itself. So it's not going to be lasting for long, but it's really something that looks cool. So don't take it for granted, because it really looks awesome. So this is the first build of the quicksand. So let me just get rid of the blocks that we do not need at the moment. All right. So build number 2, or trick number 2. I'm going to be teaching you what I like to call the kelp trick. And this is one of the oldest tricks in the book. Maybe not that old, but a little bit. So let's say for starters that you build this really awesome open space flat in your Minecraft world, and you need to make yourself a lift to go up. So you say, oh, okay, I'm gonna build the classic lift that just goes up with the soul sand and just takes me into my apartment. Yeah, I know there is no way out of here. I didn't build one, but that's not the point right now. I'm gonna be teaching you how to make this water elevator. So everybody just knows, and let me just show you like this, that you just simply go in. Let's just say you're in survival world, you're just walking in, and you say, okay, so I'm gonna be filling this up with enough water so that this works, and ta-da, 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 and it's working, and you have a working elevator. I mean, we've all done this before, right? But in this case, you have a nice working elevator, and you would need like an infinite source of water to do it if you're in survival, and you would have to constantly find yourself a way to get to the top. Then let's just say we put here our nice door, and I'm gonna just do something like this right now, because let's just say you decide to make the simple just jump into the stream of water, and this is like the exit of your house, for example, right? But you would have to be going down, then picking again water from the infinite source of water, then going back in again and filling it up, and then going out and filling again with the bucket. And it becomes a really long cycle that, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I feel like, for some reason you don't feel like doing it, right? So there is an easier way to fix this. Welcome back. And I'm gonna be teaching you how. If I can manage to get this block out of the system. Mr. Block, you glitching out of the system, and I don't need you glitching out. We have a nice glitch in here that wasn't part of the there we go. It wasn't part of the idea. Alright, so let's just say, let me just get a bucket of water. I mean a plain bucket to show you, to get rid of all the water that we have in here. Okay, so let's just get rid of all the water that we have in here. Probably using a sponge is gonna be quicker, so okay, so here we go. Alright, so how can we do this in a very simple and fast way to do it? With kelp. This is the easiest and funnest way to do it. So the first thing that we're going to be needing is a block of sand. That's going to be replacing the soul sand that's going to be going in the bottom. You'll see in a moment why. And just place one bucket of water, you're not going to be needing anything else, in the block that's at the very top of where your elevator is going to be finishing, which is right here. So the water is just going to flow down, and you're going to be saying, yeah, but we need to fill everything, every single block with water. Yeah, but what we're going to be doing is we're going to be planting kelp. We're going to be just growing kelp, which you can do very easy in survival by just floating up and planting kelp all the way up. And kelp is going to be filling every single block of our build here with water. So now that this has been taken care of, and you filled everything with kelp, destroy the kelp in the very bottom so that everything just falls down, and replace your last with soul sand, and there we go. We have a nice working elevator. Pretty easy, pretty simple, and way less worky that it would be in the standard way. So that's a really cool thing. You can just turn all the remaining blocks into water blocks by just simply using kelp. So you can also use this trick. For example, let me just show you a second way that you could be using this trick. Let's just say, oh no, you only managed to find one source of water, or more like it, you went out exploring and I don't know, you went out exploring and you brought back with yourself one bucket of water, but you decided to make your house in a desert, near a desert temple, and you're like, oh no, I should have brought two. So here we go. We use the one bucket of water that we brought, and you obviously have to replace this. You have to replace, you know, let me just get another, hold on, this is not gonna be working if I'm uncreative. Let me just get one bucket, one empty bucket. Here we go. And let's just switch to survival for a moment. All right, so here we go. You can plant kelp in there, and well, that should have worked. Now I feel like a zombie, but oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm sorry. Okay, so what you would have to do, because this works upwards, of course, it's just hold on. I'm gonna be doing this with soul sand, because why not? So what you can do in here is you do this with any block, grass block or whatever you have, and just do the same trick that I showed you earlier. So hold on. So right now we have two blocks, one block of water only, but you plant kelp all the way on the top, and now you should be having everything filled up. That way now you have one bucket of water, two buckets of water, three buckets of water even, because right now we have 1, 2, 3. And you can now obviously do this and get your infinite source of water. So there you have it, problem solved. If you by any chance went out exploring and forgot to bring one extra bucket and you're gonna be needing water back at your base, well, just simply do that simple trick. Of course, don't forget to bring kelp back home, but that way you can have like full infinite source of water, if anything. So there is that. Before we move on to the next thing that I have planned on in here, I'm gonna be also teaching you how to do one of the nice builds that I love, and it's how to build a proper room in your Minecraft base. Because even though, I mean, a base, and especially, well, when you're trying to like do survival, mostly to do like end game kind of thing, defeat the dragon and stuff, you don't really focus on how it looks. You're more like, all right, I have a base, I have a bed, I have a couple of boxes to put my stuff, I have the furnace, I have the crafting table, and that's all I care about. But you can also like focus a little in how it looks, because it also makes part of the game fun. So I'm gonna teach you one of the easiest and, well, kind of builds that I love the most. So you're gonna be needing 2 beds at least, and so let me just, the color that you like, you're gonna be needing carpet in the matching color of the bed that you're gonna be choosing. You're gonna be needing a white block. You can use, if you fancy and you have the time to go and get yourself quartz from the nether, you can use quartz, but right now I'm going to be using simple concrete to make it easier. And first things first, and you're going to be needing a light source. Right now I'm going to be choosing shroom light, but you can use any kind of light source that you manage to. So first things first, you're going to be needing to build 4 blocks, and you're going to be placing your light source on the top of it. Then right in the middle, and what I mean is if we do this and this, these are the 2 blocks in the middle, you're going to be placing your 2 beds. So you make like a double standard bed. Then just place black carpet around it. And right on the sides, you're going to be placing chests. Or any other block that you would like if you're just like decorative. But right here I'm going to be placing chests so that you can put maybe your armor in here and make it look like you have clothes inside something. And that way, for example, you already have a nice bed to go back to when you're going to be sleeping at night. So this is one of the simplest and easiest things that you can build in here. So you have a nice view and a nice place to go back to. So that is that. Alright, so let's head into the next build. So right now I'm gonna be showing you how to build a DJ booth. Of course this couldn't be a building and trick episode of my Minecraft builds, my Minecraft shows, without properly teaching you how to build a DJ booth. You all know that I'm a DJ, so I cannot skip this one. So let me just show you what you're going to be needing for this. If you don't have like a way to get all of this fancy stuff, because some of them are not that easy to get in survival, then well, you can just skip certain parts of it, like for example, the beacons. You can just skip that if you are not going to be just gathering the materials for it. But this one looks cool as well. Okay, so first things first, we need to build the booth itself. So first thing that we're going to be needing is to place, I'm going to be doing it with quartz block. If you don't have quartz because you haven't gone into the nether yet, then I suggest you do it with any kind of wood that you like, or stone if any, because we're going to be needing stairs. So consider that. So first thing is to place one stairs in this position that I'm showing you right now. Leave one space and then place another in the very same position. Whoops. Hold on. Here we go. And just fill the center with a quartz slab. So for starters, we already have this little like table that looks cool. And I suggest placing one of these slabs in here so you can stand up and actually DJ easier, but that is up to you. So you're going to be needing, first things first, your city players. So we're going to be playing 2 item frames in each of the stairs that I place, and you can choose any music disc that you like. I suggest you don't use the broken one, but I mean, Minecraft is all about creativity, so if you want to make it look creepy or something, then go ahead. I myself go with the white music disc because it looks a little bit more like the regular Pioneer CDJs, but you can use any if you want to just go and be creative. So place one on each, and now we already have our CDJs here, I mean. And most tutorial videos, you're going to be finding that they use a redstone comparator facing in this direction, because there's a button and you can toggle it. So like most of the videos usually do this because there's this button you can toggle, but I myself prefer to use the daylight sensor because in my opinion I feel like it looks more like the master that goes in the middle, so it looks like it has more buttons and stuff. I mean, there's no actual way to fake the faders and stuff, but in my opinion this looks like better. And also, I mean, you can also toggle with it in a certain way. If you want to just like do a scratch routine, then just toggle with the CDJs and just pretend you're doing a scratch routine, for example. If you already have downloaded the music pack that comes for free with Minecraft, You can also like destroy this one and this one, place a CD player on a jukebox on below. You know, for example, you play a jukebox here, and let me just get a grass block to fill the hole, and you can just grab your CDJ and place it. And then, for example, I don't know, let me just get the jukebox again. Right now I'm DJing jazz. Woohoo! But I mean, for example. So for example, now we changed our music, and you can just combine them both. For example, right? But that's just an idea. So you can actually DJ in this if you do that trick. And now comes the rest of the building, which is making it look more professional, more clubby or festival-y, depending on what you are looking for. So right now I'm gonna be just building a nice wall behind me, so that, for example, I'm gonna be just using this nice alternate design that I suddenly decided to do. You can just make a pattern if you want to, so that's like completely up to you. So right now I have this nice little wall in the back. Maybe I can just use, for example, I don't know, black concrete to just make like the walls of where you are supposed to be DJing at, for example. So right now this is like, you know, the classic DJ cabin, but cooler because we're in Minecraft and we can do anything. So right now I'm just gonna build this up. Now with the new Caves and Cliffs update, you can even use glowing item frames and maybe put different items in the diamonds or whatnot, and just make it look even, you know, different-y, you know. So for example, right now we have this. So hold on a second, because this takes a bit of time. Alright, so for example, right now I'm just going to be filling this with shroomlight so that it doesn't look empty. So we have our DJ booth, we're standing here, we toggle, we do our stuff, and on the second part of it, we're going to be adding now the beacons. Now this is, hold on, because I forgot the lever. Okay, so it's time to add the beacons. So what I would do here, it's just put beacons in the front that are gonna be representing the lasers and the lights that you see at a festival, for example. So the beacons are gonna be going all the way on this land, on this line right here. So let's just build the proper floor for them. So if we want to have a beacon like one yes and one no, so that it doesn't look like all that filled with blocks, we need to make sure that all of them work properly. So this is the part that maybe in survival could be a little bit too much, because gathering the resources for the beacons is not that easy. But I mean, that's really up to you. So right now we have here like the first beacon working. So let's just, you can even add a power to the beacon if you want. For example, I don't know, I would think of adding a jump boost so that, you know, your crowd can jump higher with the drops that you're gonna be using. So right now we already have the 3 beacons working. So let me just get the grass. So that would be the simple like way of building it. Now there is a second way of building it, but it would require that you build one step higher, or you take your beacons one step lower, which is what I'm gonna be doing right now. So I'm gonna be replicating this very same floor we just did, but one step lower, and you're gonna be seeing why in a minute. Oh, hey, Marble Blocks, I'm glad to see you. You're just in time because I'm showing how to build a DJ booth that looks like awesome in Minecraft, just for fun. How has the day been, everybody? Speaking of, I haven't asked you, so I'm just replicating this, but one step lower, and you're gonna be seeing why in a minute. So, all right, so we're gonna be pressing again. Here we go, and we're gonna be putting one block of iron on top of each beacon. It can be any other block that blocks the beacon. So right now, as you can see, there is no light coming from it. We're gonna be needing some sticky pistons. So here we go. So what essentially we're gonna be doing here is, I'm gonna be doing it backwards because it's like easier. So here we go. So what we are gonna be doing here, in a sense, it's making sure that these sticky pistons remove and keep and remove those iron blocks that we have in there. You can do this one step lower even if you want. Right now I'm not doing it because this is a flat world and we not have any space like deeper. There's already you know, the bottom floor, the bedrock, and then you fall out of world a bit. So we're gonna be building and placing some redstone to make these work. And before I teach you how to finish this, I'm gonna be showing you what a reversed redstone, I mean, I call it that way, I don't know if it has a proper name to it, but what a reversed redstone is, so that you understand what I mean. When you have a redstone stream that goes somewhere in particular, right now I'm gonna be using a sticky piston just as an example, and you put any kind of power, I'm gonna be using right now a lever, it works and it powers. But what happens if we need the entire opposite? We need the piston to be all the time pushing up so that it pushes whatever block it is holding, and when we take the lever off, it retracts itself. We need what I call a reversed redstone, and here is how it works. You need one block of space, one block placed in front of it, and a redstone torch. So right now the piston is going to be powered all the time unless I tell it not to. And here is where the rest of the fun comes. I input some redstone dust behind that block, and we put here a lever, and right when I put it, it does the entire opposite. What happens here is that this lever is going to be sending a redstone signal when I toggle with it. So it inputs a signal, and this signal is going to be telling the redstone torch to do something. But given it's already been turned, the only thing that it can do is to power off. So it powers off and therefore powers off the rest of the redstone dust. So this is how it works to do it reversed. So this is exactly what we're going to be doing here. So right now we're gonna be doing a reversed redstone signal. So we're gonna be having this already powered, and whoops, if we were right now to power this lever, it would retract the iron block, therefore letting the beam or the beacon of light to come out. So what we're going to be doing here in essence is connecting all three of these redstone signals together so that it becomes only one signal. We're going to be using a repeater for this. So let me just get a redstone repeater. Here we go. Because it's going to be a bit of a long way to it, so Remember, you only have 15 blocks to go with a redstone signal, otherwise it's not going to be keeping on going. So we're just going to be making this. Remember, the repeater has to be going on this direction, given that we're going to be powering this reverse signals. So we're going to be bringing our signal right here, and we're going to try and get this signal somewhere to our DJ booth. So we're going to be going one block below in here so that we can start hiding it. We could have done that maybe even before, but either way. So we do this and this. Here we go. Let's just actually do it so that the redstone is not like, you know, exposed all the time. So let me just take everything just one step lower. So here we go. Remember, this one cannot go one step lower because it has to power directly that redstone torch and directly that block. So that's the only one that cannot like do that, but the rest can. So we're just gonna be doing this. Therefore we connect everything. Don't forget to place your repeater so you don't have any kind of issues. I would maybe place another one in here. Okay, and then we can just do this, fill the entire floor so that nobody sees the redstone that goes below the entire system. Alright, so we are fully covering this so that you cannot notice it. We're also gonna be covering this, of course, because I mean, so here we go. And in here maybe what we can essentially do is, I don't know, maybe something like this, for example, you know, like, or maybe even with the black concrete. I don't know, it just comes to my mind. Let me just, you know, like how in festivals, for example, DJs are like really not at the reach of the fans. You're like somewhere where you're untouchable, I like to call it. So in here you can just like fully pretend that you're in that untouchable area. So we can just do this, for example. So we literally just fill the entire place with black concrete so that, you know, this is the stage, or the part of the stage where, I don't know, fans cannot come to. So you do this, and so maybe everyone just stands in here and looks at the DJ that is just far away. And in here we're gonna be placing our lever, so that's just gonna be retracting everything. And hold on for a minute, why is this not working? So give me just 1 second. What did I do? Hold on, sorry. Just every time that a redstone build doesn't work, try to go retrace your steps and try to see why it isn't working. So right now everything is being powered properly, and this is powering. Oh, here we go. This is where we messed up. Remember, when you have a redstone signal that is going down, if you place a block in here, what's gonna happen is essentially it's gonna like cover the place, and there is no way that both redstones are completely connected. So what we would have to do here is just simply take this one step further. Hold on. Here we go, and that would solve the entire problem. So always when you fail doing anything with redstone, retrace the steps until you find where you're messing up. So here we go. You can just do this. And I don't know, maybe even do this. And this. And you're just a DJ and you're just like, okay, so you're dancing and everybody put your fucking hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up. And you just look this and the lights just start to show up. And you can maybe, let's just take this one step further and use some colored glass. Because if you didn't know, most of you mostly already know, but if you didn't know, you can color the beam with different kinds of glass. So maybe I'm gonna be using cyan for this one, and no, you know what, I'm gonna be using blue for this one, and cyan in here, and green for this one. So you know, you have 3 different kinds of beacons being powered in here, and then you just turn this off and suddenly, you know, there's no light and stuff. But then you just power again and you regain the different kinds of light. And you can even mix colors. Like for example, I want a really light green, so I use green and yellow, and it's gonna give us a lighter type of green. And maybe I just want to mix this with a bit of black to just get it darker, so I use some black in the middle. And you can just mix as many colors as you like to get different kinds of beacon lights. So I myself like to use white a lot, and the original kind of beacon, because it also looks cool. So you can, for example, just use white, which is like the original kind of beacon but a little bit brighter. So for example, I love to do this, so you can just leave it this way, and that way you can power your entire DJ booth. So there you have it, how to build a DJ booth. And in here you just like let people have fun and stuff. So there you have it. Let's just move on to the next the next build. And thank you, Marble. Okay, so let's just move on to the next build in here. So the next trick I'm going to be showing you is how to move a chest with content. Let me just clear my inventory because I have plenty of things in here. Remember to clear your inventory is just /clear. If you want to clear any of the players that you're playing with and you are the operator, you just choose any of this option. If you want to clear everyone, it's at A. If you want to clear only the closest player, you choose at P. That works perfectly for command blocks. If you're going to be doing any kind of, I don't know, when they go to your house, you put a command block right in the entrance with a pressure plate, so that anybody that comes out of your house gets the inventory cleared, so that you make sure nobody stole anything, for example. So you can use at P. At R could be for any kind of game which suddenly somebody's going to get the inventory cleared, but it's just, you don't know who. And at S is yourself, which you can do right now, but if there is any other player and only you are playing, you don't need it. So I'm just gonna do /clear. And if you want a specific player and you have many playing with you, then you have to use this symbol that I forgot the name to, and then just write the name of the player that you're using. Right now I'm Cypher Music, so I'm gonna be doing it just for the sake of showing you, but it can be, I don't know, Music Manjo, if for example, I don't know. And then you can just choose specifically which item you want cleared, or if you want all of them cleared, just play enter, and like you see, my inventory is fully cleared. Sorry, my throat is getting a little bit dry. Alright, so I'm going to be teaching you how to move a chest with content. You're going to be needing a chest, of course. You're going to be needing a piston, any kind of redstone signal input. I'm going to be using a lever, but you can use a button, redstone, dust with, I don't know, a redstone torch, a redstone block, and anything to put in the content. So I'm gonna be just using right now a regular chest. I'm gonna be filling it in with some pistons. I'm just gonna scatter them around so that you see how the system really works. And then what you need is just place your piston facing the chest and in the direction you want it moved. Right now we're gonna be moving it in this direction, and just simply power your piston and it's gonna be moving the chest. And as you see, the content is gonna be nice and unmoved. Now there is a couple of things that do like get affected by this trick. And first of all is if you have a large chest, a double chest. So let me just scatter a few things here also. Hold on. Okay, let's just leave it like this. And you try and move it. You use the very same signal, but it's gonna be separating it into two separate chests. So you cannot move a large chest and keep it the way it was. So sadly you would have to like delete one of them and just place a second one to make it work. So there's that. But also it can be really useful because, for example, if you want to have like very separate chests, because sometimes you really want to have I don't know, let's just say you want to have a sorting system that goes this high, but instead of that you want to have like separate chests because you're not going to be fitting in that much, and you don't want to have to use a classic one chest, one block, one chest, one block, because then it uses far too much space, you know. So the one thing that you can do in here, so simply it's just, you know, place pistons right beside each of the pistons, just activate all of them. Make sure that obviously where you're going to be placing them is one block before where you actually want them, because you're going to be pushing them, of course, but then you can just delete the entire system, and that way you can have separate chests to put your inventory into. Another way to separate the chests is by doing this. You do two chests together, then you place one separately, and then you destroy the chest that's on the very end. You can do this also in survival. Then, I don't know, you place another chest, then another, and you destroy. Then you repeat the process, for example. I don't know, say, for example, this is like the edge, and you keep destroying, and you can also have them separate, but the easiest way to do it is with the pistons. So you can just have separate chests if that's what you're aiming for. And another thing that gets affected by pistons is signs. Right now I have a sign that says moving chest with content, because that's what I'm teaching or showing you right now. But if I place a lever, a piston, sorry, right here to do the trick again, and then I activate it, it's gonna move the chest, but obviously the sign is not gonna be moved with it. So as you can see, when it comes back, it destroys the sign and it comes right back to you. So let me just again moving. Hold on. Moving chest with content. Here we go. So that's that. So if you want to move a chest, just make sure there are no signs on it. Or if you don't care, just do it and then just place it again. But remember that it's not going to move the sign with the chest. It doesn't matter where you place it. So let's just say you have this, you have this, you have this. In one you have the chest somewhere. In this one you have the chest on the top. And in here you have the chest on the side. It just simply doesn't matter, because the moment you use the piston to work, for example here, it's just simply gonna destroy the sign, for example. In here the sign also gets dropped, and this one, just like I showed you in the last edition, it's also gonna get destroyed. So just don't forget that tiny detail, but aside from that, it's really helpful. And last but not least, I'm gonna be showing you how to make a working kitchen. Now, how you decorate this on the outside is gonna depend on you. You can make a really big fancy thing, because it's actually gonna take some sort of space. So you can just like cover the entire thing with blocks and just make it look like a humongously big working fridge, or maybe just leave it the way it is if you're all you want is like functionality and not so much the looks. So it just all depends on you, but I'm gonna be teaching you how to do this. So let me just clear my inventory again. So for this build, you're gonna be needing 1 furnace, 1 dispenser, 3 hoppers, 1 redstone comparator, 1 redstone repeater, a couple of redstone dust, any kind of food that you want cooked. I'm gonna be using raw salmon in this one. Any block that's gonna be used the scaffolding. I'm using red concrete, but any kind of block. Coal, as much as you have. If this is survival, if this is creative, well, a full stack works perfectly. 1 chest, and any kind of block to decorate this build. I'm gonna be telling you what we're gonna be doing with these blocks later. So right now, let's just get into the build of this. So first things first, what we're gonna be doing here, and let me just crack on and tell you what I'm gonna be doing here, is a working kitchen, meaning that we're gonna be dropping the food that we want cooked into a hopper, and it's gonna come out cooked on the outside. So here is what we're gonna be doing. So essentially, first things first, the dispenser is gonna be the block that's gonna be just giving us the food that's fully cooked. So if you're thinking about how you're gonna be decorating everything, maybe this one can be covered in iron trapdoors, so it looks like a working, I don't know, microwave, for example. So that's that. Secondly, and let me just use this to like go on. Remember, when you're going to be placing a hopper that's going to be connected to any block, you need to crouch. So I'm going to be placing a hopper that's going to be directly connected into the dispenser. How do you know that a block is connected, a hopper is connected to a block, a chest, or anything? When you crouch and you place it, you're going to be seeing this end tip of the hopper pointing at what it is connected to. If I didn't crouch, then as you see, it's not connected. If I crouch, it's connected. So in here, since it's going from up to the bottom, you can see it's connected to the hoppers, to the dispenser, sorry. So there's that. So let me just do this. Oh, no worries, MacBoom. You're right on time to see how to do an automatic, fully working kitchen. And I hope your evaluations went well. So I'm just going to retrace my steps 2 seconds so that Boom here can also know what I'm doing. So right now, what I did is place a dispenser in here. And on top of it, hold on. On top of it, I placed a hopper that's directly connected to the dispenser. That's all I've done so far. So after that, we're going to be placing a furnace that's going to be connected to the hopper. So just crouch and place it. There we go. So whatever comes out of the furnace, it's directly going to be going into the hopper and directly into the dispenser. So we already have that. So after that, what we're going to be needing is to place a hopper connected to the furnace on the top and another one connected to the furnace on either side. Right now I'm choosing the left side, but that's completely up to you. What is this for? So that the hopper on the top is going to be giving the furnace the item that you're going to be cooking, and the hopper on either side is going to be giving the coal so that it can be cooked properly. So now that we've finished with that, all that remains is using our beloved chest on the side connected to the hopper so that we can place the coal in there, and it's pretty much done. But what would happen here? The dispenser would have the cooked item, but it wouldn't be shoot at you unless you have a button and you tell it to shoot, right? So what we're going to be doing here is a way to tell this dispenser to shoot the item at us automatically right when it is done. So for this part, we're going to be needing, first of all, a comparator. It's going to be, oh, whoopsie daisy, I didn't mean to break that. That's going to be facing this way into the dispenser, and what this does, I haven't fully understood like the entire logic of the comparators. I use them, but I don't exactly end up understanding everything that can be done with them because it's very extensive. But what this does is, in essence, is that when the dispenser is filled, it's just simply going to be turned on, sending therefore a redstone signal. So we're going to be pushing this redstone signal somewhere to the front so that, and let me just show you, if there is anything in here, boom, it turns on. So there you have it. After that, you're going to be needing that block that you chose the scaffolding, doesn't matter which, just in the middle of the build, and coming right out of it a redstone repeater. And then pay very close attention to what I'm doing. Just connect the signal that's coming out of it into the dispenser, and there you go. The moment we put something in here, it automatically shoots it back to us. Now, one thing is very important to understand here. Since the furnace is just going to be smelting one item at a time, it's going to be dropping one item at a time into the hopper, and it's going to be shooting one item at a time, which is perfect. But if we place a bunch of items into the dispenser directly, it's only going to be shooting one. There are various other ways to make like automatic shooting dispensers that just keep shooting, for example, fireballs or something, to make like some sort of how do you say it? Some sort of like, it's not a pistol, but like a gun to prevent your house from being attacked from creepers or anything. There are different ways to do it. For particularly for this build, you cannot just place a bunch of things into the dispenser because they're not going to be shot at you. But luckily we have an entire system to make it work. So pretty much this is it. So before I cover this and just do it and give it the looks, let's just go back and retrace what we did here, because it is a bit complex if you are new to redstone builds. So you need a dispenser, you need a redstone hopper that's going to be connected to that dispenser, you need a furnace connected to that hopper so that anything that comes out of the furnace goes directly into the hopper and directly into the dispenser. You need two hoppers connected to the furnace, one on the top and one on the side. And that's a choice, but I like to use it. You need a chest connected to the hopper so that you can place all the coal that you get right from your explorations. And you don't have to, every time you want to cook something, just go and, oh, where did I put my coal? You know, just simply place it there, and it's going to be like, I don't know, it's going to fill the entire slot of the furnace with coal. And if you have like the entire chest filled with coal, it's fine, because every time it uses one coal, it's just going to grab another, and it's going to be an endless cycle, and it's always going to be functional. So that's what makes it perfect. So you can also place a chest on the top if you want to have like automatically cooked items all the time at your disposal. But in my opinion, I like to have it like this, because maybe if you want to have like a functional kitchen that actually looks like a functional kitchen, then what you can do is, for example, I don't know, let's just do this, for example. So let's just say you build like some sort of stairs in here. So you go on top and you say, oh, I'm gonna be cooking a fish. So you simply decide to throw it to the hopper, for example. So you say, oh, I just put it into the microwave. And as you see, it directly starts to cook each of the raw fish that you threw. It literally just went down into the dispenser, and I already have it here. And let's eat. So, and I have another one, so I can just eat again. And as soon as it comes into the dispenser, it's gonna shoot back at us the next fish that comes out. There we go. So that's why I like to have it that way. But if, for example, you want to have an automatic, here we go, automatic kitchen that's always working, in here is where we're going to be using the extra 4 chests and the extra hopper that I have. So let me just move this and move this. So first of all, we would be having to use that chest on the top to put all the raw items that we have. And how many are cooking? Oh, we're done. And next thing, we're gonna be needing 1 hopper in here so that it catches everything that the dispenser drops at you. And then obviously a chest or a double chest, depending on what you want, so that you can have the food at your disposal. So just remember to crouch to place a hopper so that it's fully connected into the chest that we have in here, and that would be it. So you come in from your exploration, you put your coal in here as already into the furnace, and you put all the items that you used, and that's about it. And you're gonna be seeing how every time the fish gets shot at by the dispenser, it goes into the hopper and directly into the chest. There we go, and here we have it. So that way you can maybe have like all the time at your disposal cooked food for anything. So that's really awesome. So there you have it, a working kitchen. Now, for the looks of it, I'm gonna be using an iron door, and I'm gonna be just hold on, let me just get a block of grass, or maybe in this case quartz, because we're supposed to be in a kitchen. So let's just use quartz bricks so that it looks like legit. So right now this is our kitchen, for example. So let's just say this is the fridge, right? For example. So you know you have to go in the back of the fridge to place your items, but like any visitor you have in your house doesn't. So you can, for example, do this. We're just gonna be covering the entire redstone building here so that it doesn't show up, because they're really cool but not very fancy to be looking at them. So we're just gonna be pretending here that this is the floor. Nobody has to see what's going on behind everything, just like the wiring of a normal fridge. Sorry. And we just leave this here so that you can place your items, and you say, oh, and you can just block the rest, for example, and you say, oh, this is my fridge, you know, for example, and you place in here. Right now I'm gonna be placing my door in here, and so you just wait. And funny thing, the door is gonna be opening as soon as the dispenser just throws everything, so that also looks really cool. So let me just finish this. So you can just maybe just say that this is, like I said, your fridge. There we go. It's obviously a really humongous fridge, but the cool thing is that it just cooks for you. So it's completely done. So let's just finish the kitchen in here. And thank you, MacBoom. So let's just make an entire kitchen, because we still have 15 more minutes of stream, and we are done with all the things that I had planned for today. So let's just finish the kitchen by making something else, just to make it look cool. So it's gonna keep on throwing fish until it finishes. So we're just gonna have to leave it like that, because I could just go and retrieve the raw fish, but it looks cool to just see it throwing everything. So I'm not going to be making a really humongous kitchen in here. It can be as big as you want, but right now, for the sake of it, I'm just going to be making it like yay big. So here we have it. So These are gonna be the walls, for example, of your kitchen. If you want a kitchen with walls, if you want an open concept kitchen, then obviously don't. But like that's like entirely up to you. And we're gonna be making a table on the middle, so we're gonna be needing smooth quartz stairs for this, and a block of quartz, a smooth block of quartz, and smooth quartz slab. If you don't want to retrieve all this from the nether, if you're in survival, then use any other block that you can retrieve stairs, blocks, and slabs from it, aka stone, any kind of wood. Don't use concrete because there are no stairs from concrete, but you can also use sand, any kind of block that can give you slabs, stairs, and blocks. Okay, so in here we're going to be doing the same thing that we did for the DJ booth. First things first, place your stairs looking upside down like this. Decide how big you want your table to be, and then just place at the other end the other stairs. Here we go, and just fill the middle with the slabs, so we have a working table so far. So maybe we could have done it one block further, but let's just leave it like that. So secondly comes how to do the chairs. So there are two options, or well, more than two options, but right now I'm gonna be teaching you how to do the chairs in various different ways. Hey Manny, glad to see you. So for the chairs, we're gonna be using white stained glass or any kind of glass depending on the color of your kitchen. And we're gonna be needing carpet depending on what color you want your seats to be. I'm gonna be using black in this case. So this is where the first person is gonna be sitting. The second, and I'm gonna be doing this table one seat extra, so that everybody can sit at the table, because it looks way better if you do one block yes, one block no, one block yes, one block no. So just place your glass, and then on top of it place the carpet. It's a bit tricky finding the place, but there you go. So that way you can like sit at the table. Now if you feel like, I don't know, say for example this is too small, then you can just make the table one block higher, so that, I mean, if you want to build this like actual size of the avatar, for the purposes of the game it doesn't look as cool if you do this, but for the purposes of the size of the avatar, this would be like how tall the table would have to be. So in my opinion, I just simply hold on. Come on. Sorry. This is a bit tricky. Here we go. For the purposes of the looks of the game, I actually like to leave it like this. Now that is the first way to put seats. The second way is obviously placing simply stairs like this. You can even do this so everybody can sit at the table. Now that's another option. Now option number 3, and just let me get rid of this. This would be maybe cool for a bar of some kind, for example. Okay, so option number 3 would be using slabs.